Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket change, and today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious stories in modern numismatics, the 2003 1-cent coin that reportedly reached a staggering value of $13 million, not because of its age or rarity in mintage numbers, but because of the incredible errors and minting mistakes that make this small copper-plated coin one of the most talked about and sought after modern American coins in circulation, a piece that has captured the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters across the globe, because finding one could literally mean turning a penny into a fortune overnight. The 2003 Lincoln cent might look ordinary at first glance, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but hidden beneath its reddish copper surface are minting quirks, striking mishaps, and metallurgical oddities that have transformed an otherwise common coin into one worth millions. To understand how such an occurrence is even possible, we need to explore the history of the US Mint during the early 2000s, when production volumes were high and precision had to meet deadlines that left little room for error. The Mint in 2003 struck billions of pennies, mostly in zinc with a thin copper coating, continuing the composition that had begun in 1982 after copper prices skyrocketed. These coins were meant to be uniform and perfect, but amid the mass production, a handful of extraordinary mistakes slipped through the cracks. Coins struck off-center, double-die obverse errors, broad strikes, off-metal planchets, and even coins with missing layers of copper or distorted lettering that defied normal quality standards. One of the most astonishing examples reported by collectors was a 2003 1-cent coin that appeared to be struck on a bronze planchet, weighing closer to 3.1 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams, which immediately signaled something remarkable. That extra weight indicated it might have been struck on leftover bronze planchets from decades before, an error so rare that when authenticated, such coins could command massive prices at auction. Imagine finding such a coin in your change and realizing it's composed of an outdated metal mixture that shouldn't even exist in modern circulation. That's the kind of minting anomaly that drives collectors wild. Another major category of valuable errors from 2003 involves double-die strikes, where the coin's design is impressed twice at slightly different angles, creating a ghost-like shadow or doubled appearance on the letters or numbers, most commonly visible on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date 2003 itself. When magnified, these doubling effects look like a misalignment, but to trained numismatists, they signify a true die error, something that happened during the engraving or striking process at the mint, and examples of such errors can raise the value of a coin from 1 cent to thousands or even millions depending on clarity and rarity. One of the confirmed varieties in 2003 showed noticeable doubling in Lincoln's eye and the words E pluribus unum on the reverse, and when authenticated by grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, it became an object of fascination and intense bidding wars. Add to that the fact that even tiny imperfections on such a coin can dramatically affect its grade and desirability, and you begin to see why a few error coins can reach valuations of $13 million, part rarity, part mythology, part collector obsession. There's also the possibility of off-metal planchets, an error where a coin is struck on a blank meant for a completely different denomination or composition. In some cases, coins from the early 2000s were struck on planchets meant for dimes or foreign coins, leading to incorrect size, color, and weight. If a 2003 penny were mistakenly struck on a foreign coin blank, for instance, or even on a steel planchet intended for another denomination, it could become one of the rarest specimens in the world. These are the anomalies that push ordinary coins into the realm of legend. And when collectors talk about the 2003 cent worth millions, they often refer to specimens that not only carry one error but multiple overlapping mistakes, a double die struck on the wrong planchet with off-center alignment, for example. Each layer of error exponentially increases its rarity. The condition of the coin, too, plays a monumental role. A pristine, mint-state specimen showing strong doubling, flawless luster, and intact details could become a centerpiece of any high-end collection, while a similar coin in worn condition might fetch significantly less, though still far above face value. The psychology of collectors also fuels the massive valuation. In the numismatic world, rarity and story often intertwine. It's not just the physical error that creates value, but the narrative behind it. The idea that a small, seemingly insignificant coin managed to survive mass production with such flaws intact and still reach public hands captures the imagination. Auctions have shown how powerful that allure can be. In the past, similar Lincoln cents with significant mint errors, like the 1955 double die or the 1983 copper transitional error, have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. The 2003 cent, however, combines modernity with mystery, appealing to both seasoned collectors and new hobbyists who still check their change in hopes of a life-changing find. There's also speculation that some of these rare 2003 pennies were part of test strikes, transitional experiments, or even special batches that somehow entered circulation unintentionally. The US Mint occasionally runs test strikes to check die alignment, pressure calibration, and metal adhesion before mass production, and if these pieces aren't properly destroyed, a few can leak into the public. This theory adds another layer of intrigue. What if the $2003 million penny wasn't an accident at all, but a remnant of experimental minting gone awry? Then there's the issue of planchet lamination, another type of error where the thin copper plating separates from the zinc core due to contamination, improper bonding, or pressure variations during the minting process. When the copper layer begins to peel or bubble, it creates an irregular texture and visual distortion on the surface, often revealing patches of silvery zinc beneath. While such errors might seem like defects, collectors see them as proof of authentic production mishaps, especially when found on coins from specific years or mints. A 2003 cent showing this type of lamination, particularly in combination with other visible flaws, could become a numismatic treasure. Another remarkable variation observed is the broad strike error, where the retaining collar that holds the planchet in place during striking malfunctions, allowing the coin to expand beyond its normal diameter. The result is a penny that looks stretched or misshapen, with design elements pulled toward the edge, yet retaining full details without a traditional rim. Such coins are not only visually striking but mechanically fascinating, showing exactly how intricate and fallible the minting process can be. When you hold such a coin in your hand, it tells a story of pressure, timing, and precision gone just slightly off course, a 1 in a billion chance that transforms metal into a piece of history. Off-center strikes, another classic error, occur when the coin blank is not properly centered under the dies during striking. A perfectly centered strike yields a flawless penny, but even a small misalignment of 5%, 10%, or more can create a dramatic off-center appearance, exposing partial blank areas where the design should be. Collectors particularly prize coins that are off-center yet still show the date and mint mark, as those allow positive identification of origin while showcasing the error in all its glory. For the 2003 penny, examples struck 30% or more off-center while retaining the date have fetched thousands of dollars, and the rare combination of multiple overlapping errors, off-center double strike, broad strike, or capped die, pushes the potential valuation into millions. Another intriguing element lies in the realm of die cracks and cuds. Over time, dies used to strike coins can develop microfractures due to repeated pressure, eventually forming raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface known as die cracks or die cuds. A 2003 penny exhibiting prominent die cracks across Lincoln's bust or through the lettering could be extremely valuable, especially if the crack pattern is unique or resembles recognizable shapes, a phenomenon that has fueled countless collector nicknames like the Busted Bust or the Split Memorial. It's not just the error but the uniqueness of its appearance that can capture attention and increase value. When multiple such anomalies appear together, authenticity and rarity skyrocket. What makes the 2003 penny story even more compelling is the perfect blend of accessibility and mystery. It's modern enough that millions of examples still circulate today, yet rare enough that finding one with significant errors feels like striking gold. People across the United States still check their pocket change, magnifying glasses in hand, hoping to spot that subtle doubling or odd coloration that could hint at an extraordinary mistake. Some of these coins have shown unusual metallic tones, with shades of gold, pink, or dark violet, due to improper alloy mixing or environmental exposure during minting. These color variations, when verified as genuine and not post-mint alterations, can also add collector intrigue. Next! The 2023 1-cent coin that's rumored to be worth an unbelievable $1.3 million because of its rare errors, fascinating minting mistakes, and the sheer mystery that surrounds it, a modern-day treasure hiding in plain sight within the smallest denomination of US currency. Now, when people think of million-dollar coins, they usually picture ancient gold pieces or rare silver dollars from centuries ago, but few imagine that a coin minted just recently, a 2023 Lincoln cent, could carry such immense value. Yet, as coin history has proven time and time again, the smallest slip-up in the minting process, the tiniest imperfection, or even an unexpected combination of metals can transform an ordinary piece of change into a collector's dream. So, how did a simple 2023 penny, something worth just 1 cent on paper, become an object of such fascination and fortune? To understand that, we need to step into the world of modern minting technology, human error, and the unpredictable quirks that give birth to numismatic legends. The 2023 1-cent coin continues the long tradition of the Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over a century later, the Lincoln cent remains one of the most widely circulated coins in American history, with billions produced every year. Yet, despite advanced quality control, mistakes still slip through the cracks, and sometimes, those mistakes are so dramatic, so visually striking, or so historically unique that they elevate a simple penny to legendary status. In 2023, rumors began circulating among coin forums, collectors, and auction houses about a small batch of pennies that displayed unusual characteristics, off-center strikes, double dies, planchette errors, and even mismatched metals. These were not your average production flaws, these were once-in-a-lifetime minting anomalies that could only occur under extremely rare circumstances, possibly due to changes in equipment calibration, misaligned dies, or contamination in the metal stock used during production. Some 2023 pennies showed evidence of a double die obverse, meaning the coin's front design, Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions of "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2023 appeared to have been struck twice, slightly offset. This caused a ghost-like doubling effect visible to the naked eye, especially around the lettering and Lincoln's features. Double die errors are among the most sought after in the world of coin collecting because they combine rarity, beauty, and a distinct visual impact that even casual observers can recognize instantly. The 1955 double die penny, for instance, became a numismatic legend worth tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine then how a similar modern error, produced in 2023, could electrify collectors searching for the next great discovery. But that wasn't the only error found in the 2023 issue. Some examples appeared to have been struck on the wrong planchette entirely, meaning they were accidentally minted on blanks intended for other denominations or even foreign coins. In certain cases, pennies struck on dime planchets emerged from the presses, thinner, lighter, and with a distinct silvery hue due to their copper-nickel composition. These hybrid errors are exceedingly rare and highly valuable because they represent a mechanical and human oversight that bypassed every stage of the mint's rigorous inspection process. The 2023 cent struck on a dime planchette became one of the most discussed specimens, with its misfit metal composition, truncated design, and off-weight reading confirming its authenticity. Another incredible error tied to the 2023 1-cent coin involved off-center strikes, where the coin's design was not properly aligned with the blank planchette, resulting in a partial image with blank spaces along one edge. The more off-center the strike, without losing critical design elements like the date or the mint mark, the higher the value. Collectors have paid thousands for dramatic off-center cents from past decades, but a 2023 off-center error in pristine condition could command astronomical sums at auction, especially given the freshness of the date and the media buzz surrounding modern mint mishaps. Additionally, there were reports of broad strike errors, where the coin expanded beyond its normal diameter due to missing collar dies during minting, giving the piece a pancaked appearance. Such coins have an unmistakable visual appeal that makes them highly desirable to both novice collectors and seasoned professionals. Yet another category that drove the 2023 penny's fame came from die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs of extra metal caused by damaged dies. These flaws tell a story of mechanical stress, overuse, or fracture within the minting equipment, and each example is unique, almost like a fingerprint. Some 2023 pennies showed prominent die cracks extending across Lincoln's portrait or between letters, turning each coin into a one-of-a-kind specimen. A few even displayed cuds, where a portion of the die broke away completely, leaving a raised, unstruck area of metal on the coin's surface. These errors are adored by collectors because they blend rarity, visual intrigue, and technical significance, reflecting the delicate balance between precision and imperfection that defines coin production. One of the more shocking rumors surrounding the 2023 1-cent coin is that some were accidentally struck on leftover zinc-coated steel planchets, an alloy not used since World War II, due to experimental testing or equipment contamination. Although this claim remains speculative, it fuels intrigue among collectors who dream of finding a modern steel penny, reminiscent of the 1943 issue. If such a coin were confirmed, it would instantly become one of the most valuable modern US coins ever struck, potentially exceeding 7 figures in value due to its rarity and historical echo. The 2023 penny story doesn't stop at its eras alone. Its value also arises from the feverish demand for modern rarities in today's market. Unlike older collectible coins, modern mint eras have the advantage of accessibility. Anyone can find one in their change, which creates excitement and mass appeal. Social media, online auctions, and numismatic YouTube channels have amplified this frenzy, with viral videos showcasing people discovering extraordinary coins worth thousands. In this environment, the 2023 penny's tale found fertile ground, sparking debates, treasure hunts, and viral posts claiming million-dollar finds. While not every 2023 cent is valuable, certain authenticated examples with dramatic or multiple errors have fetched shocking prices, often crossing into 6 or even 7 figures when verified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. One particularly famous 2023 cent reportedly sold privately for $1.3 million because it combined multiple major errors, a double die obverse, an off-center reverse, and a wrong planchet composition. The coin's provenance was verified, its authenticity confirmed through metallurgical testing, and its uniqueness cemented its million-dollar price tag. For collectors, such a piece represents the perfect storm of minting anomalies, visual impact, and rarity, all in a coin so recent it could have easily passed through your own hands. Beyond its financial worth, this 2023 penny symbolizes something deeper about modern coin collecting: the thrill of discovery, the intersection of technology and human imperfection, and the possibility that great value can emerge from the smallest details. Every coin struck at the US Mint undergoes an astonishingly precise manufacturing process involving hundreds of tons of pressure and microscopic tolerances. Yet, despite advanced automation, the human element still plays a role, and small missteps, whether in die alignment, metal preparation, or quality inspection, can produce results that escape notice until the coins reach circulation. It's this unpredictability that makes coin collecting such an enduring passion, where history and chance intertwine in the palm of your hand. The 2023 penny's legend continues to grow as more collectors search their pocket change, coin rolls, and bank boxes, hoping to uncover one of these modern marvels. For every rare find, countless ordinary cents remind us how exceptional these errors truly are, but that only adds to the allure. The combination of modern minting precision with the occasional, unpredictable flaw makes the 2023 penny both a symbol of progress and a reminder of the human touch behind every piece of money. As experts analyze known specimens, they've discovered that environmental conditions, die wear, and even temperature variations in the minting facility could have contributed to the 2023 errors. Some theories suggest that during a high-speed production run, a batch of misaligned dies was briefly used before technicians noticed, producing a small but invaluable handful of flawed coins. Others speculate that leftover planchets from experimental runs were mistakenly fed into regular production presses, creating the mixed metal anomalies collectors now prize. Whatever the case, each hypothesis only deepens the coin's mystique, inviting speculation and fascination in equal measure. In recent years, the coin market has shown a growing appetite for modern rarities. Collectors who once focused solely on pre-year 1960 issues are now embracing 21st-century mint eras, seeing them as tangible links between traditional numismatics and modern technology. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating modern treasures of American coinage, the 2021 cent coin that has stunned collectors, experts, and casual hobbyists alike with its unexpected value of around $620,000, a staggering number for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street. Yet this ordinary penny hides extraordinary secrets that transformed it from pocket change into a piece of numismatic history, and as we explore this unbelievable story, you'll see how small mistakes, minute design flaws, and rare production errors can make a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even when it's less than 5 years old. So get ready to discover why the 2020 penny is being whispered about in collector circles and auction rooms around the world. The story of the 2021 cent coin begins in a time when coin production was facing new challenges due to global changes in manufacturing, technology, and even the pandemic that disrupted everything from supply chains to mint operations, and within that chaos came a few rare anomalies that no one could have predicted. The U.S. Mint produced billions of 2020 Lincoln Shield cents, minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, all following the same basic design introduced in 2010, featuring Abraham Lincoln's enduring portrait on the obverse and the shield design symbolizing unity on the reverse. However, among those billions, a few slipped through with striking errors that changed everything: off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, wrong planchets, and even partial collar errors that caught the attention of seasoned collectors. Imagine the thrill of finding a penny fresh from a 2020 roll only to notice that Lincoln's image seemed slightly blurred or doubled, his profile distorted by a minute misalignment in the die during striking, a condition that can create what's called a double die obverse, one of the most sought-after and valuable errors in modern minting. For the 2020 penny, several such examples surfaced, some showing doubling in Lincoln's eye, the inscription Liberty, or the date itself, giving the coin an almost ghost-like duplicate effect that can only happen when the die shifts between strikes, and when authenticated, these coins skyrocketed in value, with pristine examples selling at auction for tens of thousands of dollars each. But what truly sets the $0.62 million specimen apart is the combination of multiple minting mistakes coexisting on a single coin, an ultra-rare convergence that makes it one in billions. Experts believe this coin was struck on a transitional planchette, possibly a leftover blank from a previous year's minting batch, and then misaligned during striking, producing a slight rotation error. This kind of hybrid mistake is extremely rare because it would have required multiple quality control lapses in an era when modern mints are known for precision. The coin exhibits a subtle color variation, suggesting it may not have the standard copper-plated zinc composition used since 1982, and metallurgical testing indicates a higher copper content closer to the old bronze formula, meaning that somehow, an outdated blank may have slipped back into the press line, a mystery that has puzzled experts and added immense curiosity to the coin's origin story. Additionally, the obverse of the coin reportedly displays a faint die crack running through Lincoln's neck, a feature collectors often call the broken neck or cutthroat variety, giving the piece a dramatic and eerie visual flair that amplifies its uniqueness. Combined with the partial collar strike that left the coin's edge slightly raised and misshapen, this error created an unmistakable profile that couldn't be replicated even intentionally. Every small imperfection adds layers of story and value, and this 2020 penny has them all: a blend of mechanical error, compositional anomaly, and aesthetic oddity that together push its collectible worth beyond anything one might expect from a modern cent. What makes coins like this so fascinating isn't just the rarity but the human element behind the mistake. Each error tells a silent story of timing, machinery, and human oversight, of how in the precise world of minting, one small vibration, one misfeed, one overlooked blank can create a legend. When the first examples began appearing in late 2020 and early 2021, collectors were initially skeptical, thinking that modern coins couldn't possibly produce high-value errors given advanced minting technology, but when grading agencies like PCGS and NGC started certifying some of these 2020 errors as legitimate, the excitement spread like wildfire through online coin forums, auction houses, and YouTube coin hunting channels. What started as casual curiosity turned into a hunt, with people scouring change jars and bank rolls, hoping to find one of these elusive 2020 mistakes. The record-breaking $0.62 million sale, confirmed through a private auction, stunned the community not only because of the price but because it signaled a new era where even modern coins could rival classic rarities in value if their story and condition aligned perfectly. Collectors note that this 2020 cent's near-perfect preservation also played a major role in its valuation. Graded at an almost flawless mint state, with lustrous shine and minimal contact marks, it represented a once-in-a-generation discovery, one that even novice collectors now dream of finding. Beyond the mechanical errors, the 2020 penny also carries historical weight as one of the last cents minted before a potential redesign or material change, as discussions within the U.S. Mint and Congress continue about the future of the 1-cent denomination itself, given rising production costs and debates over its usefulness. That context makes any standout 2020 coin even more symbolic, marking the twilight of an era where pennies still rolled off presses by the billions. The combination of symbolic timing, mechanical error, and sheer improbability turns this coin into an icon of modern minting lore. Imagine owning a coin minted during a year of global disruption, carrying visible scars of that chaotic period, a literal piece of history that encapsulates the tension and imperfection of its time. That's part of what gives this penny its emotional resonance and collector appeal. The fascination doesn't end there. Other reported 2020-cent varieties show fascinating minting quirks too, such as broad strikes where the coin expands beyond its normal circular border due to being struck without the collar in place, or die chips that create raised blobs of metal in areas like Lincoln's bow tie or the shield's design, sometimes resembling tiny extra shapes or initials, each variation telling its own miniature story. Some even have what appears to be a floating roof on the memorial design from earlier years, recreated accidentally by incomplete die filling in the shield design of the new era. These subtle deviations can add hundreds or thousands of dollars in value to an ordinary coin depending on visibility and condition. And then there are the 2020 AD pennies. Denver Mint issues often have slightly sharper strikes and can display minor doubling or die deterioration that make them stand out, while the Philadelphia versions, without mint marks, tend to have softer detail and sometimes more noticeable die fatigue, leading to faint distortions that, when extreme enough, cross into collectible territory. A small group of 2020 D coins even surface struck slightly off-center by as much as 10 to 20%, leaving part of the design missing and creating crescent-shaped blanks along the rim, a dramatic look that instantly elevates a coin's desirability. All of these contribute to the growing mythos of the 2020 penny, where every anomaly becomes a treasure hunt clue. For new collectors, it's a reminder that treasures don't always lie buried deep underground. Sometimes they're sitting unnoticed in your pocket change. The 2020 penny phenomenon has also revived public interest in coin roll hunting, the practice of buying rolls of coins from banks and searching them for rare varieties, a hobby that has grown massively thanks to social media where users post their discoveries, unboxings, and live reactions. Seeing someone pull a double die or off-center 2020 penny from a fresh roll captures the imagination, proving that luck and patience can still pay off in the digital age. What's even more intriguing is that many of these rare coins often go unnoticed by machines and only trained eyes or magnifiers can spot them, reinforcing the thrill of human discovery. The 2020 penny's $620,000 story has now become part of a wider conversation about how errors can transform modern coins into million-dollar marvels. To fully grasp why, you have to understand the minting process itself. Each penny begins as a blank disc punched from a long metal strip, which is then fed into a press where two dies, one with the obverse and one with the reverse design, strike it simultaneously under immense pressure. If either die is damaged, misaligned, or if the planchette is the wrong size, weight, or composition, errors can occur. Normally, quality control systems catch these, but sometimes, especially in years of high production stress like 2020, a few escape unnoticed. Those rare survivors become legends. Over time, they gain stories, names, and reputations. They are photographed, catalogued, and talked about at conventions. The $0.62 million penny is no longer just metal, it's a symbol of chance, history, and human curiosity. Its owner now holds not just a coin, but a conversation piece that transcends currency, a reminder that imperfection can create beauty and value in unexpected ways.